Hi guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to First Edition Clubhouse. As you know, every single Friday, starting with this Friday, we are going to be crashing out about something, literally anything. But today, specifically, I saw on Instagram yesterday or the day before, it was a post saying that I saw two posts. One that said that remember it's your first time, it's your parents' first time living on this earth, number one, and then number two, I don't really remember the second one, but we're gonna crash out about the first one because fine, we can say that it was their first time living on this planet. They also did not choose to be born, right? However, I come in with a counterpoint. I can say now that it was their choice to bring me and my other siblings into this world. Number one, they had their whole lives, they had their entire lives before I was born to live, to be humans for the first time, to be 21, 22, 23 for the first time. You know what I mean? They had choices. They chose who they wanted to make children with each other around. And they made beautiful children. I mean, there's no denying that. Like the gene combinations were the ones. You know what I mean? However, that doesn't dispute the fact that there were many errors that were made in the choice or the manner in which raising, or I don't know, raising is the word we're going to use. Raising, it wasn't my choice. I didn't say, hey, go to that man. That man is your soulmate, make children with that man. go, go and marry that man, alright? Honestly, if I was alive during that time, I would have been like, I don't understand this whole thing of like societal norms of like having to marry the person that impregnates you. You know that fine, it's not a good thing to be known as somebody's baby mama, you know what I mean? But I'd rather be somebody's baby mom than somebody's ex-wife and have more kids, knowing that I didn't want that life, or knowing that I could have done more with my life than what I did because of the choices that I had to make because of societal norms or parental norms or any of the norms that are out there. Let's just quash norms. Let's squash them. Let's forget that they ever existed. Let's live how we want to live. Okay? Because then we'll bring less mentally ill adults into this world. And I don't blame you. You grew up like that. You grew up thinking that life is normal, but it's not. You're a nuisance to society. No, I'm kidding. No. Sometimes I'm a nuisance to society, but I do it on purpose. I like to be weird on purpose. I like to annoy people on purpose sometimes. But sometimes it's not on purpose. Sometimes it's just, you are a product of where you come from. Yes, but you don't necessarily need to stay that way. We can learn from ourselves. We can become better people. But also, healing is not linear. Healing takes time. And the first step to knowing that you need help is to understand that your actions are wrong. The way that you were brought up was wrong. Something went wrong. And then you need to just sit down with yourself and be like, okay, it's time for me to heal. Because I cannot keep damaging people that did nothing to me. Even if it's not on purpose. Most times it's not on purpose. Sometimes it is on purpose, but you can't help it. It's fine. Just stop hurting other people's children and stop hurting your own children as well, right? Because of the way that you grew up, there's no norms. There's no strict way to raise children, right? What you know doesn't mean it's what's best. Okay, I'm speaking to you. What you know isn't what's best, and not everybody that you procreate with, even though stop procreating, stop it. But everybody that you procreate with is not your soulmate. Don't marry that person. Rather be a single parent and then go find your soulmate and then heal, or heal and then find your soulmate. I don't know. It seems like a simple logic to me. Even if it is your first time living on this earth, there are many resources, examples, I don't know, many things that will just like be in your line of vision, that will be like, you know what, I did not grow up well. Let me not take how I grew up and then implement it onto somebody else. You know what's crazy? Men. Men will be like, I want my wife to act the same way that my mother did. But then they don't respect their moms, especially if their moms are like single moms. That is why, sorry to get off track here, that is why Halle Bailey gets so much hate, because they keep saying, yeah, no, Halo's gonna hate you, Halo's gonna hate you, instead of the person that abused the mom. They say Halo's gonna hate the mom that ran away from the abuse. You get like men, the logic, and women-centered men as well. I don't want to fault you. I also used to be there. I am seeing the light. I saw the light / I am seeing the light, and I'm becoming better. Whoever knew me before 2025, that's not the real me. That's not the real me. I am better. We're allowed to evolve as people. We're allowed to see the light. We're allowed to be better, okay? It doesn't excuse the actions from the past, of course. There are many things that I have to do and to work through. But with that being said, let's close it out by saying this, right? It's everybody's first time on earth. Everybody is learning from somebody. There's no person that's like perfect. There's no what is the word? There is no blueprint. There's no person that's the blueprint of anything. You know, we're all different. We all learn differently. We all see the world differently. You know, so to box people up and not allow them to pursue or to see their potential, especially if it's because that's not the way that you grew up, or any other reason really, or like, I understand we need to respect. Respect is very important. However, respect goes both ways. You respect your child respects you. Also, fear and respect are not the same thing. Just because you place fear into your child with no respect there does not mean that they respect you. The moment they get what they need to get out, number one, they'll go no contact with you. Number two, you'll spend your days wondering, why doesn't my child speak to me? But you didn't like get to know your child at all. You just implemented fear into them. And then you were like, okay, well, now that they fear me, then they'll respect me and they'll do whatever I say. Like, there's a different way to go about it. You can be like, okay, guys, I'm going to teach you to respect me. You're not going to disrespect me in my house and then expect to live here, right? But I don't want you to fear me. I still want you to sit down. I still want you to talk to me. I still want you to call me out here, and here. You know what I mean? Parent-sibling relationship, not fear-based relationship. That does not work. You cannot go out into the world and you're going to work and then you're scared of your boss, and instead of you calling out your boss for being whatever, you come home and then you instill fear in your children because you can't speak up for yourself. Or you see potential in your children that you saw in yourself, but because you didn't explore your potential, you're dimming down their potential. You can't do that. The reason why you have a child is because you're supposed to teach. You're supposed to teach them. People come onto this earth and they don't know anything. Literally nothing. Babies, you have to teach them literally everything. So if you're going to, I don't know, belittle them or make them feel stupid or instill fear into them because you want them to learn in the same way that you learned, how do you feel? Sit down with yourself and ask yourself, how do you feel? Even if you're successful today, how do you feel? How is the relationship with you and your parents, or with you and your siblings, or with you and whoever else? Ask yourself. Because you know very well that if you had parents that, sat down with you, spoke to you nicely, understood you, there was a level of respect there between the two of you. But there's no fear. You guys can kiki however you want. How would you have felt? How would that have impacted your life? How would you have different choices? Because it's like, you guys think that if you and your parents have mutual respect, you're gonna end up homeless. Do you know how many homeless people there are that had strict parents? Some of them ran away from home because they were like, they would rather choose homelessness than live under your roof. Some of them even got kicked out. How do you as a parent feel when you sit down and you're like, nah, my child that I made, that I saw through birth until this point, I'm telling them to get out? How do you feel? Because they don't want to do whatever it is they want to do. I understand sometimes, if they're like on drugs or something and they don't want to, they're causing havoc in the house, then yes, maybe. But to just say, at 18, my child is not going to live under my roof, they must go and fend for themselves because I grew up in the same way. Like, do you hear yourself? Are you understanding what you're saying? The same trauma that your parents inflicted on you, you want to pass down. Generational trauma must just pass through your family bloodline. Are you mad? Yes, you. Are you mad? Anyway, yesterday we didn't have electricity for the whole day. I was mad about that. It's a crash out for another day. Anyway, thank you for crashing out with me. I hope that you and I crashed out about the same thing. If you crashed out about something else, tell me. One thing about me that people need to know is I am not nonchalant at all. I am chalant as hell. So whatever is important to you will be important to me. I will go for you. I will defend you, is what I wanted to say. I'll defend you. You're right. Tell me your stories. Let's chat about it. Let's crash out together, because crashing out is my favorite thing to do, honestly. With all this anger that bubbles up inside of me, I just, and I don't know what to do with it. But when I crash out, baby, it's a good day. Anyway, thank you for crashing out with me. I will see you tomorrow for the example edition. Yes, heavy is the no. Shit, tomorrow is the Reddit story. Tomorrow I'll catch you for the Reddit story, and then Sunday I'll catch you for heavy is the crown. Bye.